pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call of attendance.
Here.
Here. Here.
Here. Here.
Okay, this meeting's being held August 11, 2025, and is being held in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act. And notices of this meeting have been provided via the email to the Press of Atlantic City, the Daily Journal on November 9, 2024, as well as been posted on the Municipal Bulletin Board and at the Borough website. So prior to getting started tonight, I would like to once again thank Quinn Broadcasting for covering our meetings once a month. This is due to donors that support the borough and have this live television, and I'd just like to mention them as a acknowledgement from the beginning of the year till present. The following: Allen Associates, Newfield National Bank, Blaze Manzoni of Nation One Mortgage Corporation, and John Frendino of Global Concrete Incorporated. Again, I'd like to thank our sponsors in providing this opportunity to reach the public. If they can't make the meetings, they can catch it on Channel 22 tonight, and they run this periodically throughout the month. So anyone that you know who missed the meeting, they'd like to catch it. It also goes on YouTube. You can go to Quinn Broadcasting, type in buenaborough.org, and that will show up. So it gives the people some live notice of what's going on in the meeting. Okay, at this time we have the first order of business tonight, and it's a happy time. It's one of the pleasures of holding this office. We get, bogged down with everything else, but tonight we're making history, and we're making it over a very, very lovely person who has dedicated many, many years to this community, to the Borough Council, to the Borough Government, and we felt it was apropos, myself along with this body of council, not Pat, that we honor her tonight. She's a very humble, very gracious person who doesn't like a lot of accolades, and I told her, that's too bad, you could get mad at me, but I'm doing it anyway. So tonight, we do have a proclamation in her honor for all her efforts and time she still gives to this very day. So we're going to name it the Pat Andelora Day today. It will go down in history, and what I'd like to do is present her with a proclamation. I'd like Pat to come up.
Can I read this, or are you going to read it?
I'm going to read it.
This one?
He was too.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is it.
Oh, it's on there? Okay.
Yeah.
You're not reading it. You're not reading.
No, I don't want you reading.
Nothing like trust.
Nobody says.
Can I sit back there?
No, you're going to come right here. Pat Andelora, long-time friend. Okay, before I ever read this, I remember her back in the mid-'70s when the portrait in the middle, Dan Muccio, was her neighbor. He was the mayor here for 16 years. And Pat and Richie hosted a party that night for Dan, and I was elected to be, I just turned, 18. I was legal to serve beer and drinks. So I got elected to be a bartender with Dan's grandson, Mike. And that's where I first met her, right at a party
I was
type of
just a
thing.
baby then.
Yeah, you were a baby then, but her girls were babies then, right? But that was my first encounter with Pat back in 1975, so we go back a long way. And tonight just gives me a lot of joy to be here with her tonight and acknowledge this day. So whereas Councilwoman Patricia Andelora has been a cornerstone of public service in the Borough of Buena, having dedicated countless hours across the decades, roles including Borough Clerk, Treasurer, and a trusted member of the Borough Council. And whereas Patricia Andelora's return to elected office in 2021 marked not only a continuation of her dedicated leadership, but a meaningful chapter in local government as she joined her daughter Gina as councilwoman in a rare, inspiring mother-daughter partnership in the service of their community. And whereas Chair of Buildings and Grounds, Councilwoman Andalura, has brought energy, precision, stewardship to the management of borough properties, spearheading efforts to secure key municipal buildings and ensure the smooth operation of borough affairs. And whereas Patricia Andalura's spirit of service extends far beyond the council chambers, voluntarily, selflessly with the Spanish Community Center, Salvation Army, Nutrition Site, Unit Outreach, always lifting up local families, individuals in times of their need. And I probably missed some in there. Whereas Patricia Andalura is equally dedicated to her faith, quietly serving her church through the hands-on care, devotion, and embodiment of servant leadership that enriches both her spiritual and civic life. And whereas the beauty and upkeep of Buena's public spaces often bear her invisible touch, and as she continues to contribute behind the scenes with no exception of credit, guided purely by her pride in her hometown and heart for service. And that paragraph says a lot. And whereas Councilwoman Andalura is known for answering every call, whether to solve a problem, lend a hand, offer support, with grace, humility, and unwavering resolve, earning the admiration of her peers up here and the deep gratitude of her fellow residents. And whereas her legacy of integrity, compassion, tireless dedication will serve as an enduring example of generations to come. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that this Mayor and Council of the Borough of Buena, on behalf of a grateful community, do hereby declare August 11, 2025, Patricia Andalura Day in the Borough of Buena, in honor of her extraordinary contributions, steadfast leadership, unshakable commitment to the people and the future of this town of Buena. Let this day stand as a heartful tribute to a true public servant whose life's work continues to shape and lift our borough to this day. Joseph Baruch.
That's a lot.
And it's also hung up on the Buena Wall of Fame. When Broadcasting took a picture of that beforehand, but it's here forever. Few words?
Thank you. Beautiful words you put in there. It's a little too much, I think. But thank you, everybody. Thank you, family, for coming here and supporting me all these years. I appreciate it.
True love you.
Great.
And all the people, residents of Buena Borough. Thank you.
Bill, you want to say a few words?
Well, I've been working with Pat for many years. She's an excellent person. I want you residents to know this. She's an excellent person to work with. And she does answer all phone calls. I know that. And I know she makes them all times of the night.
Yes, yes, I have to sometimes.
But
When they're breakdowns.
I think that she's been a very good asset to the borough. And I appreciate working with her very, very much. And hoping the next few years will even be
Right, family? Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, darling. I know you went shopping.
Very good. Yeah, Pat, just stay up here 1 second. We have Assemblyman Dan Hutchinson and Cody Miller who would like to make a presentation from the State Assembly.
Whoa.
Cody?
This is extremely important because in hearing your resume and everything that you've accomplished.
You giving me a job?
Listen, as someone who, Dan and I both served on council, we know how important a municipal clerk is and the struggles that you have to deal with some of us that aren't always as easy to deal with. But based on what I've seen so far, you handle it with grace and dignity. You've been a pillar of your community. You've dedicated your time, and you're giving back now. And in the way that things are right now, we need people in government like you that care about people and the work that you do. So Dan and I, on behalf of the 4th Legislative District, are happy to present this to you for your work, and we honor it.
Thank you.
And no, you can't have her.
We're hiring.
Anybody want a job?
You still owe us
With
a
your
pound.
Credentials, nobody. With your credentials, we don't have anybody.
You better be on your good behavior. Free drinks. Practice free drinks. I feel like I'm from a wedding.
That's the fun part, Jeff.
Yeah, now we
Right,
do
Ben?
business.
Okay. Next, we have on the agenda a special presentation to Mayor and Council. It's going to be given by Assemblyman Dan Hutchinson and Cody Miller from the 4th Legislative District. I like to call them up front.
So here we are again. I think hats were more important.
Let's see it.
So, you can't keep this and you can't cash it in just yet.
Yeah.
Wow.
We in the 4th Legislative District,
Nice.
thanks to the advocacy of your mayor, who I know is in constant communication with Assemblyman Hutchison. We represent all the towns in the district, and for your town, we were so happy to secure this funding because we know how important it is for your residents in the community, and we will continue to advocate for you in the state budget year after year. Thank you.
I gotta tell you, this
It's like the lottery.
huge.
It has to be.
Just describe my work. And again, I'd like to thank Dan for his hard work and Cody in securing these funds out of this past year's budget in the state. Through the Department of Community Affairs, this will allow us to do recreational improvements to our ball fields, in particular lights and poles, which are safety factors. And we have the GIF here tonight. We know we have to improve. This is a nice start through the efforts of these gentlemen. So I want to thank you publicly tonight for this and enjoy working and continue to work with you.
Thank you for the trust,
Thank you.
guys.
We gotta find a home. We gotta work on that, Bill.
There's enough room on the wall for that.
Mayor,
Yeah, I gotta start another wall, I guess, right?
yeah,
So,
it's like the lottery when you're in the
yeah,
lottery.
thank you very much.
I
You're
see you.
welcome.
Oh, you know what? We
have to take-
use these for other towns.
Oh, I
Just for you, Mayor,
Yes.
if you want it, we will get you one.
thought you- Thank you.
We're getting one.
All right, good. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
Stop the meeting right here. This is where we stop.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Okay, next we have,
Carol Leland.
thank you. Next we have Resolution 153-25. This is a resolution rescinding the redevelopment study resolution numbers 95-25, 96-25, and 143-25.
Motion.
Motion, Angelor.
Second.
Second, Barsuya. Roll call vote.
Yes.
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 Okay. Next, we have a motion to refer to the Buena Borough Land Use Board, a proposed resolution determining the Borough of Buena is an area in need of rehabilitation in accordance with NJSA 40A:12A 14 and request findings of fact and recommendations thereto. Motion. Motion Adams. Second Alvarez. Roll call vote.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Next, we have Resolution 154-25. This is a resolution designating the entire Borough of Buda as an area in need of rehabilitation.
Mayor, this is resolution, that is the resolution.
So that's both?
That is going to be submitted to the land use board for their consideration. When they recommend, if they recommend, that will be the resolution we're going to adopt.
Okay, so this will be held until next week.
Until the
We get something from the land use board. Okay, I apologize. So we're going to hold on the next one. Okay, Resolution 155-25. This is a resolution rescinding Resolution number 152-25 and authorizing a professional service agreement with Tiffany A. Cabello, PP, LLC for municipal-wide rehabilitation designation and redevelopment plan services.
Motion.
Motion Andalura.
Second.
Second Barsoya. Roll call vote.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, next on the agenda, we have the JIF presentation. Tonight, as you know, we've had the JIF services here for nearly 40 years. They've served us well. We have Paul Maiola and Michael Donato, our local representative through the JIF, to give council a presentation tonight. Paul, Mike?
Thank you. May I have permission to hand out some items?
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. I didn't even recognize you. Yes, it is.
What, that changed?
No, you look younger.
Good response.
Paul, I just thought that my old name was dislocated from the JIF, so I'm all wrong.
Like a bad pain, I keep showing up.
Is that right?
I did retire 2 years ago, and they asked me if I would come back and do some consulting for them and coming out and talking with some of the members about the joint insurance fund, meeting with members that are up for renewal. And I love coming back to Minnetonka, and I don't say Buda, I say Minnetonka because I used to spend my summers here as a youth. My grandparents lived here. My grandpa had a barber shop on Central Avenue, Eddie the Barber, Eddie Madalena, and you'd be old enough to remember.
Remember Jerry? Eddie the Barber.
That was my grandfather, and so it was great to come back down here. And Mike Donato's been a real supporter of the joint insurance fund, and I want to give him a lot of credit for helping you folks with a lot of work that has to be done to be a member of the joint insurance fund, and certainly Bill Mahay, who is your fund commissioner, who also really does a lot of work on behalf of the borough. So I have a short presentation for you here, and if you'll allow me to go through, if we just flip over to page 1, right now, especially some of you who own your own business understand, and Mike and I were talking about this earlier, there is a worldwide insurance crisis. This is affecting both personal insurance, your homeowners, your auto, and commercial insurance, for businesses, whether it's workers' compensation, property, liability, and so on. And it's a worldwide issue, so it's affecting the reinsurance that we buy to protect the JIF from catastrophic claims. So we buy reinsurance if it's a very large claim or a number of claims. So that's about a third of our budget now, and it's come up quite a bit. And I'll talk about what we're doing about that, but it does affect all lines of coverage that we provide. If you turn to the next page, the property coverage, that's a really big factor in driving up our costs. We know that there's been an increase in natural disasters, hurricanes, floods, fires. You read the news, or you watch the news, you'll see. As a matter of fact, there was an article in one of our trade magazines that came out 2 weeks ago that talked about the fact that the first half of this year insured losses were the second highest in the first half of any year since records began in 1980, and the only year that was higher was 2011, and that was really pushed by the severe earthquake and tsunami in Japan. So we're on track again to see some of these costs increase. As a matter of fact, last year there were 27 separate $1 billion property loss events in the United States. We've seen the increasing cost of materials and labor, And auto repair costs, obviously, they've also gone through the roof. We're doing a lot about that. If you flip over to the next page, we are the largest, we network with other joint insurance funds around the state of New Jersey, representing over 500 municipalities, fire districts, water districts, sewer authorities, and so we have mass buying power, and that really does help us to control the cost. And it's all for one and one for all. I'll tell you, when we were starting the program back in 1987, I was a senior in high school at the time, if you believe that. No, you don't believe that. We had a meeting up in Morris County, and we were talking about the reinsurance for the property program, and at that point, the insurance company said, well, we don't want those South Jersey towns along the coast there, because they're a risk for hurricanes. And Joe Giorgio, he was the chairman at the time, he said, you take all of us or you take none of us. And that's how the program's really been from the very beginning. It's really been, we're all in this together and we're doing it to control costs for everyone regardless. So there's never been a North Jersey, South Jersey sort of a thing with the joint insurance fund. There's also been some regulatory changes, some statutory changes that really had an impact on municipalities. In workers' compensation, the pension offset has added about $15 million to the budget over the past several years, not ours, but the statewide budget. Workers' compensation reopeners, an employee has 2 years from their last date of treatment to reopen a workers' comp claim. Well, what we have found now is that a lot of the petitioners' attorneys, those who represent injured employees, are setting a diary and having them go back for treatment so that they can reopen the claim. So that's adding a real burden to workers' compensation costs. We do have lobbyists. We do try to get ahead of these legislative acts, before they hit, but sometimes, we can't do that. Medical cost inflation, what's happened to your health insurance here, I'm sure you've seen the increase. I think somebody over here said that the state health benefits program for school districts increased over 30% this year. So that's been a major draw. We've really done a lot to control workers' compensation costs. And then the stormwater and the cyber threats. Haddonfield Township had a judgment against them of $21 million last year. We're appealing that because of the stormwater runoff. I'm going to talk to you folks about what we've done to help prevent those types of claims from occurring. And then cyber, something we didn't even talk about 6 or 7 years ago. So next page, I talk about the fact that we're a resource. When you join the joint insurance fund, you're a member of an organization. You're not buying an insurance policy and putting it in the drawer and saying, well, we'll see you next year. We're very involved. We have training programs that are designed to help you reduce your costs and also to help you fulfill any of the federal, state, POSHA regulations and directives. Our loss control people come down, they meet with Bill on a regular basis to talk about, what can we do to make sure we're in compliance with these programs. And, the training also helps to facilitate with these regulatory requirements. We're here to assist with managing municipal risk, and that's what it's all about. Running a municipality is not simple. You have a police department, you have a fire company, you have EMS, public work, the type of work that private sector would never think to undertake. And again, we implement programs to help deal with claims trends and these exposures. The next page, page 6, I talk about the different types of training. We have risk management training. Every 2 years, we meet with your managers and supervisors. We talk about hostile work environment, sexual harassment, things that they need to recognize as supervisors and managers in the workplace to make sure they curtail it and that they have a responsibility for that. We do separate training for the police command staff on those same issues. And then we have online training for all your other employees on these very issues so that they recognize that, it's not 1946, it's 2025 and, boys will be boys doesn't carry it anymore and lawsuits do occur. We also hold special training for elected officials once a year. We do that virtually now. And we also have specialized training for your land use board members as far as their responsibilities are concerned. On the safety side of the house, we conduct on-site loss control visits. Our loss control people come down, they meet with Bill, they go over loss control recommendations, they talk about making sure that your records are in order in case you're accused of something and not, taking a particular training that's required. We hold regional safety training here in South Jersey. We issue safety bulletins and messages. For example, during the summer, we'll talk about, the possibility of heat stroke and, how the employees should be dealing with that. We also have the Mel Safety Institute. We implemented this about 20 years ago when we learned that, the Camden County JIF was doing a certain training and the Gloucester County JIF was doing a certain training. We said, why don't we pool our resources together and, conduct the training so that anybody from Camden County can come down here for the training, or we can go over to Gloucester County for the training. And that has really saved a lot of money, and it also made the training available on a wider basis for your employees. So we think the training is working. We know that this past year, the training episodes increased by 10%. And all this is designed to create a culture of safety so that people are able to go home at the end of the day the way they came in that morning. Next page, I think, is really interesting. Our safety director prepared this, started keeping track of this about 5 years ago. And what we noticed is that as the number of training events increased, the accident frequency decreased. So there is a direct correlation. Your employees learning about ladder safety, eye protection, hearing protection, wearing their helmet and what have you really does pay off. So we are your #1 resource for risk management solutions. This is all provided to Buena Borough at no additional cost. The Employment Practices Liability, Public Officials Liability Risk Management Program. We take a look at your personnel manual every 2 years. We recommend updates based on recent court cases or legislation. If you re-adopt that program every 2 years, you'll get a lower deductible and copay on that particular line of coverage. You also have available the Employment Practices Liability Helpline, where you can pick up the phone. Let's say somebody walks into Mary Ann's office and says, gee, I need an accommodation under the Americans with Disabilities Act. Mary Ann's not quite sure. She can pick up the phone on our nickel, talk to an attorney who will say, well, did you talk to them? What exactly did they want? You need to have an interactive dialogue with them. Maybe it's something very simple. Maybe they just want it to school under their desk or something because they're getting backaches. So we think that's been a big service, and that's really helped to prevent some issues from occurring. You're a member of the Environmental Joint Insurance Fund, so you get environmental guidance and services. New stormwater guidelines, I'm going to talk about that in a minute in a little more detail. The cyber risk support that we provide. About 5 years ago, we started to provide cyber liability through an insurance company. They kept on raising the rates, and they kept on making it very difficult to obtain the coverage for all of our members. And we looked and we said, we're doing a lot to help our members prevent themselves from being attacked. We're doing a lot of training for the employees. We decided, we're going to create our own joint insurance fund. And we have saved, and literally we have saved millions of dollars. We've kept the premiums very low by doing this. And it's really just requires that you adopt some very simple preventative measures. I'll talk about that a little bit in a minute. And you also have a technology risk management director. He will come out personally, meet with you, meet with your IT people, if it's a contractor, an outside consultant, meet with them to talk about some of the things that they need to implement to make Buena Borough safe and make sure that your information is not stolen online. All these programs are member driven. It's come from people like Bill saying, why aren't we doing this? Why don't we try, how come we're spending all the money over here, can't we do it better over there? And we listen to our members. As far as the environmental JIF and the stormwater guidance program, becoming a member of the environmental JIF gives you third-party liability coverage, on-site cleanup costs. There's an 800 number. If you do have a spill out here, you give that number a call. They will come out so that when the DEP comes out, you have a representative to meet with them, and also to recommend a contractor that's going to do the job, that's qualified to do the job, and who's not going to overcharge you to get the job done. The stormwater guidance, I think this is really, really important. Because of what happened over in Haddonfield, we recognize that municipalities really need to review their stormwater management programs. So we sent out a memo back in, I believe it was in May, and there's a copy of that in the back of your packets. And basically, the stormwater management program says that you can, on our nickel, consult with an attorney, that's Medfessel and Berber, about your program. They'll review it. They will also provide specialized engineering consultation and assistance at no cost at Buena Borough. So There's a copy of that memo in the back of your packet. You may want to take a look at that because, again, that's an area that I think is going to have more litigation as time goes on. On the next page, cyber risk. Again, that's an area that, we didn't even talk about 10 years ago. But, who wants to come in on a Monday morning and find a blank screen and say, you owe us this amount of money if you want your taxpayer data back, if you want your employee social security information back, all the things that you store on your network. So our newest program is penetration testing. There's a memo in the back of your program about that as well. A firm called Bulletproof Cybersecurity will come out. They will consult with you. They will actually try and penetrate your network to see if there's any openings there that they can get in. And then they will advise you on what you can do to make sure that you keep the borough safe and keep all your data safe as well. So you may want to take a look at that as well. So, and again, Jerry Caruso is available. He'll come down, he'll meet with you, he'll meet with your technology people and make sure that you're on the right track as well. Claims management. We know we can't prevent every claim from occurring. The borough has done a very good safety job here. I believe you only had one small workers' compensation claim this year. I think it came out of EMS, is what we think. What we're doing there to try and control costs is implementing transitional duty. What does that mean? Employee gets injured on the job, doctor visits, doctor says, you can come back to work, you can come back to work on light duty. I want to see you again in 2 weeks and then I'll release you full duty. That gets the employee kind of eased back into the workplace. Last year, we saved $984,000 by accommodating transitional duty. How is that accomplished? Well, number one, they're off of workers' compensation. Number two, when they heal more quickly like that and get them back into the workplace, when they come before a judge for that final award that they receive in their workers' compensation, it demonstrates that they're healing quicker, they're getting back into the workplace, and kind of lowers the amount of that award. So that's where those savings are coming. That's almost $1 million.
It's a good one.
So that really works. And our managed care program, I think, does a great job. At the bottom of page 11, I attended a seminar. Again, this is probably almost 10 years ago, and it was a joint insurance fund up in Vermont, and they had a wellness program. And I said, well, what's that all about? And I started to dig into it, and I saw some studies that had been conducted that employees with comorbidities, like obesity, diabetes, smoking, things of that nature, were more likely to be injured on the job and recover more slowly. So I said, why don't we start to track our own results? And we told the claims people, when we have a workers' compensation injury, let's see where the comorbidities are and let's start to track the progress. And basically we found that workers' comp costs for those with comorbidities was 27% higher overall. The indemnity and medical claim costs were 54% higher, and time lost from the job was 78% higher. So that's why we have our wellness program in place. We think it makes a lot of sense for workers' compensation, and obviously it also does for your health benefits. So that program has been very effective. On the liability side of the house, we use a defense panel that's located here in South Jersey. They know the local bar, they know the court venue, they specialize in the defense of public entities, so they understand the use of Title 59 defenses. As a matter of fact, when Buena Borough joined the Joint Insurance Fund, one of the first things we asked you to do was to adopt a tort claim notice questionnaire, so that when somebody wants to file suit against the Borough of Buena, they have to follow the procedures that are outlined in the statute. And so we think that has gone a long way. We've actually been able to get out of a lot of liability cases because it turns out that they really didn't have anything to go on when they filled out the form. Our tulip coverage. You're holding an event, you're having outsiders come in to sell their wares. Maybe somebody wants to use a facility for an engagement party or something like that. Why should the borough residents be on the hook if something goes wrong, if somebody gets hurt, somebody gets injured? And that's why we have the TULIP program. You can direct them to go online. They can get a $1 million liability policy for the event, cost them between $70 and $100. It automatically names the borough as an additional insured. And we know that that's gone a long way to prevent claims against our members. We also updated our certificate of insurance guidelines. So if somebody comes into town, They want to do work for you. Let's say it's an outside contractor that's going to be putting a new roof on. You want to make sure, number one, that the contract indemnifies you and not the other way around. And you want to make sure they have the proper limits of insurance. I know right now, Mike Donato is working with you because you're having some fireworks in September. We want to make sure the fireworks contractor has the proper insurance, that the contract runs in the favor of the borough. There was a case over in Washington Township many years ago, before I even started the shift, where a youngster was out near where the fireworks were the following day and found an unexploded shell and blew his thumb off. They sued Washington Township and they won. You know why? The contract said that Washington Township was responsible for unexploded ordnance. Why is that? So that's why we asked, let's look at the contract that you get from the fireworks person. Let's make sure they have the proper insurance and they're naming you as an official insured. And that's those model indemnification agreements, again, that we put out to make sure that, it's not being turned around on our members. We also know that we have a very strong JIF financially, and we ask that, if you're looking at other joint insurance funds around the state that are not affiliated with us, their balance sheet sometimes includes some pretty tricky items in there. For example, they claim that they're going to get 7 or 8% investment income on their balances, which nobody's getting nowadays. They discount their reserves. They say that they have recoverables from reinsurers in the tune of $8 million, one of these joint insurance funds. Some of these go back 10 and 12 years. They're never going to get that money back, yet they're still stating it as a benefit on their financial statement. And their administrative costs are more than double what they are in the joint insurance fund. We run the JIF on about 10 cents on the dollar. These other JIFs run on anywhere from 20 to 22 cents on the dollar. Insurance companies run anywhere from 30 to 35 cents on the dollar. So we know that we're very, very competitive as that goes. Page 14, I talked about our strong bottom line. We've been around for 37 years. I can't believe that. We have a very healthy surplus, $13 million, over $48 million of cash on hand. Since we formed the JIF, we returned over $55 million to our members. What is that money? That's money that would have been insurance company profits. And when I started the JIF, it was a basic premise. How many claims have you had over the past 10 years? And how much premium have you paid over the past 10 years? And who do you think's ahead of the game? Well, here they were ahead of the game. They would have been ahead of the game to the tune of $55 million. That's money that comes back to the members as dividends. We released $2 million this year, which totally offset the premium increase because of the reinsurance increases. Your total dividends over that period of time has been almost $500,000, including about 6.5% of your premium this year, about $13,000 in dividends to Buena Borough. And then subrogation. Somebody injures one of your employees, let's say there's an auto accident, they damage your vehicle, they hurt your employee, we go after them. We collect that money and it reimburses the JIF. We've recovered almost $7 million in subrogation recoveries as well. So, your council, you're the decision makers, you're the policy makers in this county. What can you do? Continue to support the JIF. You folks have been a great member. Continue to encourage your employees to participate in our programs, because we think that these programs reduce risk and they do save taxpayer dollars. We think it's great value to be a member of the JIF. And just remember, cheap insurance isn't always cheap. And we think that we are extremely competitive. Michael was talking to me about the fact that just you're covering all your vehicles here in Buena Borough through a private insurance carrier would probably be as much as your entire premium is with the joint insurance fund. So think about that as well. Next, page 16. This year we started putting out a newsletter. It comes out quarterly. I put copies of that in the back of your program. You may want to take a look at that. It's just letting you know what's going on. We send that to Bill, and then Bill can obviously distribute it to each of you. I think it's a great update on what's happening with the joint insurance fund. So that's all I have. I'd be happy to answer any questions at this time.
Any questions from council?
It's clear. Pretty clear, several years now.
I have to say, Paul, that, again, I was on that council 37 years ago that Michael was here, Mike Donato. I don't know if you remember Mike.
Yeah.
The makeup up here was totally different back then, but I was so happy that we went with you guys way back when. And, you know, tonight, you know, the proof is in the pudding, and here it is. I mean, more $500,000 within, you know, 37-year time frame. So I'm very, very satisfied with you guys. In particular, Michael and Bill, our risk management consultant, our fund commissioner, and safety coordinator. Again, they're a big part of why this is happening too. So, you know, it's just a win-win situation for Buena Borough, and we're, you know, thrilled to be with you guys and look forward to the continued marriage.
Thank you.
Great job.
I'd
Michael?
like to say thank you to Paul and the JIF for asking you to come back, because you are a familiar, well-trusted face. While police chief, Paul and I had many interactions about insurance, and he's a man of his word, and he tells the truth, and you can depend on him. So I'm glad to see you back.
Thank you, appreciate that.
You can't retire.
All right.
All right, stay a little while.
All right,
Michael?
I just want to thank everybody, Mary Ann, Bill, and Mayor Council.
Cindy's involved too,
And
isn't she?
Cindy, yeah, Cindy handles the cyber, and boy, she's good. So, I also want to say that the control that all municipalities have over the insurance, they make the decisions, we meet monthly, sometimes virtual, sometimes it's in person. They have Dave Luis as the solicitor, point solicitor, and he's a great guy. He's been such an asset because he really fights, you know, the claims watches out for the members. And I just think he does a great job. So I'm on the claims committee, so I hear the claims every month. And of all those municipalities that, how many are in the CHIP? 37 now. So it's a monthly thing, and we go through it every Thursday, second Thursday morning. And it's interesting, to say the least, to hear all the claims. But I learn a lot, and I know how to bob and weave through this stuff. I have to say that you guys have been great implementing what needs to be implemented and looking out for all this stuff. Bill, he's on the phone with me almost every day, talking about what do we do and all that.
And it's good that you live in town.
Well, not really, but I'm from here, and it's just he does do a great job at it, and so do you guys. So just keep it up. Let's keep it, you know, the litigation at a minimum. So, all right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
And let's go Phillies.
Yeah.
Let's go Phillies. There you go.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thanks again. Okay, next we have Resolution 156-25. This is a resolution authorizing execution of contract renewing membership in the Atlantic County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund. Motion, get it all out.
Second.
All right, Adams, motion. Garcia, second. Roll call vote.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, next we have resolution number 157-25. This is a resolution of the Borough of Buena appointing Dave Fiocchi as Streets and Roads Labor 1. Motion, Stefano. Second. Alvarez. Roll call vote.
Yes.
Alvarez?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Ursulou?
Yes.
Navarro?
Yes.
Stefano?
Yes.
Okay, I have a few items under mayor's report. I'll try to keep it as brief as possible, but a lot has gone on the last several weeks prior to the other meeting. First, I'd like to report that in July, the tax bills were printed and received July 28th, and we actually got them out July 29th, all in one day. And that's thank you to a lot of dedicated people that I'd like to recognize tonight. Joyce from the tax office, Jerry Marinacci, who serves multiple positions here in the borough, councilpersons Adams, Barsoya, and Andalora, our administrator, Marion Carluzzo, in the clerk's office, Nicole and Pam, our CFO's office, Cindy and Diane, and Valerie from the Planning and Inspections office. Through their efforts, We put out a lot of tax bills that day, along with the newsletter. Hopefully some of them got maybe missed, but I think for the majority of the residents, they received a newsletter from my office and all the departments that sit up here tonight on council to inform the residents as to the happenings since January. So again, I want to, pay homage to those people. Secondly, a meeting was held pre-construction regarding the I-Bank with South State, who is the awarded firm that we have. It was attended by Joe Monak, our engineer, Bill Niemahay, Streets and Roads Supervisor, myself, and it actually outlined the scope of work that's going to be done in the borough, which is going to take about almost a year to do. It's going to start, and that was the $3 million unforgivable loan that we got through the I-Bank, and they decided to start the work on West Avenue from Wheat Road and proceed all the way down to Atlantic Avenue in Minnetonka. So that's going to be phase one. Again, this is a joint effort with our MUA. So the sewer lines, that's the first thing that's going to be done, along with the other utilities. We're going to be on it as far as giving people notifications for directing traffic or redirecting traffic. We're working on that now, but the bulk of the work will take about 4 months from what we were told at that pre-construction meeting. So hopefully by Christmas, work will be done on this side of Minnetonka. And then they will move over, hopefully in January, to Summer Road, or Summer Avenue, from Route 40 to Plymouth Road, and go by the cemetery. You know that's been a problematic area for a long time, but that will get done hopefully by a projected April. So it's an 8-month endeavor here. And then once that happens, we do have 2 grants secured by the state to repave both of those roads at no cost to the taxpayers also. So we will go out to bid for those 2 roads to get reconstructed. Hopefully once we go out to bid, we'll award sometime in May. And again, these are projected tie lines. And then hopefully by next summer, I think I'm safe to say, Joe, we could see some reconstruction, and maybe by this time of the year be finished with this project, which is, again, that check was huge. I used that descriptive. This project's huge. And again, I have to thank our engineers, Monak and de Blasio, for being aggressive with the I-Bank and for securing these funds, or we could have never done this project. So I'm really excited. We're going to probably, like I said, get some complaints, some concerns from people that we're going to move their cheese a little bit when we have to do the work, but let's just all be on the same page. You can give them my number if they start really harassing you, and I'll just tell them how it is. I mean, we got all this money, we want to make improvements, and we're doing it. Number 3, council has, as you can see, in the packet I sent you last week, there's a timeline and a letter that I sent to the executive, Dennis Levinson in Atlantic County, regarding current status of projects that began this administration last year. I'm waiting to hear a response from him. Once I receive that response, I will get back to council to see where we're at and those projects that were committed to this council in this town. Number 4, I've proceeded to give an update to council. I gave you a handout. I'm not going to go through the whole thing regarding the Minnetonka Estates. Special Attorney Solicitor Mike Malinsky contacted me today with the most recent news on where we're at in finishing the Minnetonka Estates. It's like 6 pages long. So please go through that. If you have any questions, let me know. But basically, Mike has been on the bond company. He's insisting on a timeline. He's being very aggressive. And we're ready to see some action in that Minnetonka Estates area. So hopefully, when we meet next month, we'll have better news. Finally, I'd like to report on the landfill closure, which we put in. When I say we, myself, Councilwoman Andalura has served with me on this committee, and so has Bill Niemahay, regarding looking in to close our landfill and to get solar energy and power that will cover not only the closing of the landfill, but will also enhance us in getting revenue within our budgets, our future budgets, plus give a return to the users of energy, hopefully between 25-30%. So there's some of the things that we talked about with various people that could be achieved. Right now, we're still working on a plan. That whole rehabilitation you heard us, pass earlier, and that will be sent to the Land Use Board. It's all directly involved with us achieving the status of the landfill and be able to get a return, not only a closure, but return. So we want to do it right. We're going to visit some avenues of how we can proceed, and then once we hold firm on those avenues, it will be brought before this governing body how we will proceed on that. Right now, we're at a little standstill. Pat and I and Bill have a little bit more work to do in investigating. Again, Mr. Malinsky was brought in on this project. He has done closures. He has dealt with solar companies. He talked to me extensively on Friday, and he feels that Buena Borough can achieve some great things in doing our homework and trying to get the best possible deal for Buena Borough. So that's where we're at. I guess that's my summary to that whole thing. But I got to tell you, it's a lot involved. I've never done anything like this. I'm learning as I go, and it is a process. I never knew there were so many moving parts to filling a landfill and getting a solar company in, and all the grid and the kilowatts and all these things. They're just like, wow. But we're doing it, right, Pat? I mean, little by little, we're getting there, and hopefully we'll have better news next time. Finally, the last thing I have, and they both left, but I asked for a current status from Assemblyman Hutchinson regarding the major project off of Route 40, Central Avenue, Kimberly Lane to Brewster Road. And they sent me an update through his office today, through the Department of Transportation. They provided the following. They said this project is currently in concept development phase. We have collected the data and are now analyzing all the alternatives to resolve flooding issues at the following locations. Okay, and that is Route 40 and Central Avenue going through Kimberly Lane, MP 33.38, they gave me the code. Route 40 and Delaware Avenue, MP 34.38, and Route 40 and Catherine Avenue, MP 38.82. Anticipated project scheduled to date, concept development phase completion. It will be complete this fall, within the next several months. The final design completion will be the summer of 2027, and final substantial completion of all construction summer of 2028. The whole project to be, it's a long project, and it's a process. And then I've just given, and again, council got the notation on this tonight. There is a number down there, so if you wish to call or whatever, this Anna Dorvell has been dealing with myself and the administrator. We were on the phone with her this morning. And that, in fact, she provided this report for council tonight. And she is the Director of Policy and Communications through the Assemblyman's office. So, as I said before, I've got nothing but cooperation with this endeavor. That's going to be, again, huge for Buena Borough. Yeah. So that is the summary of my reports tonight. But one last thing. We did deal with a water issue on Wheat Road, in which I got Bill involved with a resident who was really complaining around the curve, Wheat Road going towards Route 40, around the curb, and the guy was getting all kind of water in his basement in his house. Part of it due to the agriculture and the farming, and then part of it through Wheat Road and the issues that are along that portion of Wheat Road. Happy to say, in fact, I was getting my coffee at Dunkin' Donuts this morning. I called Bill right away. I saw 3 county guys, and they had their machines out, and they were cutting. So they did do that work this morning. Doug, I know you were involved with that too. So they completed that portion. But there's more to be done. The private owner of the property is actually going to do some work in realigning how the water moves off their fields, and this should help that homeowner on Wheat Road also. So that's one of them that, you know, we got some response from the county from today, and it helped. Okay, that's it for me. So at this time, we'll go to the public portion of the meeting. For anyone wishing to comment with a limit of 5 minutes per speaker, please refer to the following statement. Public portion of the meeting, I need a motion to open the public portion.
Motion.
Motion Barsoya,
Second.
second Adams. Roll call vote.
Yes.
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 Okay, anyone wishing to address the mayor and council, please step forward and state your name for the record.
John Sissy, Summer Road. I guess I have to wonder about the ordinance 772 that you're going to talk about in a few minutes of this. Yes, last meeting you had, you talked about 5 days per week and Monday through Friday and all that. So I'm just wondering what you mean by the schedule. I don't know what schedule you're talking about.
The Monday to Friday.
Oh, I thought.
It wasn't clear.
Oh,
On the first one that we adopted,
Right.
from what I understood, it wasn't clear and defined. This will now define it as Monday to Friday
Right.
during those hours, no weekends, and, you know, that's just a,
The first one, we used the word week.
Well, we used the week.
Instead of saying 5
Mon-
days.
5 days, Monday to Friday. So we were not clear, John. So this one now corrects it.
I'm the one that brought it up.
That's right. Yeah,
What
so,
it's gonna be.
so it's clear now.
But I thought it was clear, and
It was.
that was clear. But this is going to clarify the clear. And also, Pat,
Pardon me?
if you think they said nice things about you tonight, halfway through your tender, wait until the end. You know, another 40 years or 50 years.
Thanks, John. Yeah, I'll hang around, all right?
Okay, thank you for
Thank you.
clarifying that.
Okay, John, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, need a motion. Motion, Adams, second. Barsoya, roll call vote.
Yes.
Alvarez?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Barcelona? Yes. Rivera?
Yes.
Giuseppe?
Yes.
Okay, next I need a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 772. This is an ordinance amending ordinance number 770, creating a volunteer firefighter incentive program for the Borough of Buena Fire Department to limit the number of days standby on-call duty crew coverage that may be scheduled. Motion Adams, second Alvarez.
Discussion
Any
is,
discussion?
just like we said to John, is the first one, there was some misinterpretation that a week was 7 days, which we meant it to be 5 days, so we're just amending that first ordinance to say Monday through Friday, which doesn't include weekends for the duty crew, just Monday through Friday.
Okay, council?
Yes.
Any other questions? Okay. Roll call vote.
Giovinazzi?
Yes.
Alvarez?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Barcelona?
Yes.
Rivera?
Yes.
Giuseppe?
Yes.
Need a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion. Second.
Barsoya, second. And Laura, roll call vote.
Giovinazzi?
Yes.
Alvarez?
Yes.
Barcelona?
Yes.
Rivera?
Yes.
Giuseppe?
Next, I need a motion to adopt ordinance number 772.
Motion.
Motion Adams, second Barsoya. Roll call vote.
Giovinazzi?
Yes.
Alvarez?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Barcelona?
Yes.
Rivera?
Yes.
Giuseppe?
Yes.
Okay, the next ordinances will be on first reading. Need a motion to introduce and pass on first reading ordinance number 773. This is an ordinance amending ordinance number 761, salary and wages of municipal officials and employees of the Borough of Buena for the calendar year 2025.
Motion.
Motion Alvarez, second Barsoya. Roll call vote.
Giovinazzi?
Yes.
Alvarez?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Barcelona?
Yes.
Rivera?
Yes.
Giuseppe?
Yes.
Next, I need a motion to introduce and pass on first reading ordinance number 774. This is an ordinance of the Borough of Buena, amending Chapter 163 of the Borough of Buena entitled Noise to add Article 3A Fireworks as a nuisance
regulating the use of fireworks on private property. Motion. Motion Adams.
Second.
Second Alvarez. Roll call vote.
Guzman.
Yes.
Alvarez.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Barcelona. Yes. Andaloro.
Yes.
Stefano.
Yes.
Next, I need a motion to introduce and pass on first reading ordinance number 775. This is an ordinance of amending ordinance number 492 as amended chapter 181 of the Code of the Borough of Buena entitled Property Maintenance.
Motion.
Motion Barsoya.
Second.
Second Andaloro. Roll call vote.
Guzman.
Yes.
Alvarez.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Barcelona. Yes. Andaloro.
Yes.
Stefano.
Yes.
And next will be resolutions we'll be voting upon. First, we have Resolution 158-25. This is a resolution amending the Resolution 123-25 to correct a clerical error in the memorandum of agreement with Alex Calixto Gomez as supervising EMT. Motion Adams. Second Alvarez. Roll call vote.
Guzman.
Yes.
Alvarez.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Barcelona. Yes. Andaloro.
Yes.
Stefano.
Yes.
Next, we have Resolution 160-25. This is a resolution authorizing the sale of tax certificate number 1600046 at a private sale pursuant to NJSA 54:5-114.1.
Motion.
Motion Adams.
Second.
Second Barsoya. Roll call vote.
Guzman.
Yes.
Alvarez.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Barcelona. Yes. Andaloro.
Yes.
Stefano.
Yes.
Next, we have Resolution number 161-25. This is a resolution of the Borough of Buena adopting a grants policy and procedure.
Motion.
Mr.
Second.
Barsoya, second Andaloro. Roll call vote.
Guzman.
Yes.
Alvarez.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Barcelona. Yes. Andaloro.
Yes.
Stefano.
Yes.
Next, we'll have Resolution 162-25. This is a resolution to consider and grant the issuance of a New Jersey liquor license upon failure to timely request a renewal to DeStefano Smith LLC, TA Frankie D's Village Inn for the 2022-2023 license term.
Motion.
Second.
Motion Barsoya, second Adams. Roll call vote.
Guzman.
Yes.
Alvarez.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Barcelona. Yes. Andaloro.
Yes.
Stefano.
Abstain.
Next, we have Resolution 163-25. This is a resolution to consider and grant the issuance of a New Jersey liquor license upon failure to timely request a renewal to the Stefano Smith LLC, TA Frankie D's Village Inn for the year 2023-24 license term.
Motion.
Motion Barsoya,
Second.
second Alvarez. Roll call vote.
Guzman.
Yes.
Alvarez.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Barcelona. Yes. Andaloro.
Yes.
Stefano.
Abstain.
Next, we have Resolution 164-25. This is a resolution approving a person-to-person liquor license transfer application for license number 0104-33-013-009.
Motion.
Motion Barsoya. Second. Second Adams. Roll call vote.
Guzman.
Yes.
Alvarez.
Yes.
Adams.
Yes.
Barcelona. Yes. Andaloro.
Yes.
Stefano.
Abstain.
Okay, next we have the consent agenda. Consent agenda items of business which are not controversial do not require individual discussion. A motion approving the consent agenda is moved, seconded, and voted upon one item at a time by the Borough Council. If any discussion is requested on consent agenda item, it is removed from the consent agenda to the regular agenda. So I have the following resolutions to be approved. Resolution 165-25, it's a resolution of the Borough of Buena authorizing the mayor to sign a contract with the Real Auction Company LLC for the purpose of conducting municipal tax lien sales for 2024 delinquent taxes pursuant to NJSA 54:5-19.1. Next, we have Resolution 166-25. This is a resolution authorizing a 2025 electronic tax sale. Next, we have Resolution 167-25. This is a resolution authorizing the assessment of a $25 per paid tax sale notice for the creation and printing and mailing of said notice. Next, we have Resolution 168-25. This is a resolution authorizing the temporary closure of a portion of Central Avenue to through traffic on September 6, 2025, or in the event of inclement weather, September 13, 2025, from 12 noon to 1 p.m.
and directing the Borough of Buena Special Events Committee to submit an application to the Atlantic County Engineer for permit approving said temporary closure. Next, we have Resolution 169-125. This is a resolution reappointing Pamela Johnston as Register of Vital Statistics for the Borough of Buena. Next, we have Resolution 170-25. This is a resolution releasing the 3 performance and maintenance bonds for various street opening projects. Next, we have Resolution 171-25. This is a resolution granting permission to the Special Events Committee operating fireworks on September 6, 2025, rain date September 13, 2025, between 8 and 10 p.m. at the Bruno Malini Park on Central Avenue, Minnetonka. And lastly, Resolution 172-25, a resolution of the Borough of Buena awarding contract to the Permatech Fireworks Company Incorporated for the fireworks display in the amount of not to exceed $8,927. Next, I have bills paid as listed, clerk's report, minutes of the meeting of July 14, 2025, and minutes of the special meeting of July 28, 2025.
Motion.
Motion by
Second.
Joyce, second, Andalora.
Mayor, before we have roll call vote, can I ask council to add an item to the bill list?
Sure.
I received last minute from the Recreation Commission, they didn't realize we only had one meeting this month, for a T-shirt order payable to Custom Graphics for over 100 T-shirts for an estimated $800. They have enough funds to cover that requisition, but it was submitted late, so I told them I would ask council if I could add it to the bill list.
Is this, Mayor, is this for special events or recreation
This
as
is
a whole?
this is for recreation
To wear-
for their production, Legally Blonde.
Oh,
They're going to sell
Yeah.
T-shirts.
Yeah, there's not all this. Oh, to sell them, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're going to sell
That's good.
T-shirts, and they're also going to give some, I'm taking some of Marina's report away, but they're also going to give T-shirts away to sponsors. They're going to sell an ad book. So if you're a silver or gold sponsor, they're going to give you a free T-shirt or something. So it's part of that.
Okay.
That's our report,
Well, she'll say more about it.
We saved everybody time.
Thanks. Thanks,
Okay, so I got a motion
We could add that,
and a
please.
second, yeah, that'll be added, Nicole. We'll add that to the record. Okay, so we have a motion and a second, and then we need a roll call vote.
Jim Nazi?
Yes.
Albrecht?
Yes.
Adams?
Yes.
Rosalia? Yes. Andaloro?
Yes.
Stefano?
Yes.
Okay, next we'll go to solicitor's report. Mr. Janata, anything?
Mayor, I have nothing further to report.
Okay, very good. Engineers report, Mr. Monat.
Thank you, Mayor. Regarding grant applications, the 2 DOT grants submitted in June still remain pending. Our office scheduled a pre-application meeting for the next round of iBank funding. It's scheduled for August 18th. Regarding capital projects, we had luck with consolidating grants that we had already received in order to complete the tennis court project, and that's slated to begin in September. Regarding the iBank job, that's slated to begin in September. Just to jump on what you had said earlier, de Blasio is required to have a on-site inspector whom residents are encouraged to ask questions and can be a good spokesperson for whatever concerns residents may have.
Great.
His name is Kevin Jones, so if any residents have questions, he will be there at all times during construction.
Great. I'm gonna need his number.
They started calling the mayor already.
Already have calls. That's all right. It's all good. Joe, that means August 18th, you said, with the iBank?
For the next round,
Yeah,
yes.
what time is that again?
I think he set it for 3 o'clock.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's,
he
is
just
that
sent
here?
He just sent that this afternoon.
Okay. I thought I saw something today, but I wasn't sure. That's gonna be here?
Yes.
Borough Hall?
Yes, correct.
Okay, I'll be here.
And finally, for Buena Drive, yeah, you're correct in saying that Mike Malinsky, who is our special counsel for this, has gained some traction on getting a construction schedule. It looks like he got a hold of someone at the bond company that is starting to take care of us. So
Beautiful.
I think we'll have a good update come September.
Great. So council gets, again, you get approached by anyone, you have the documentation I gave you tonight, plus you have the engineer's report that Mr. Walensky is on this, and then we should see some results soon. So, thank you, Joe. Good report. Okay, now we'll go to committee reports, planning, zoning, and inspections. Councilman Giovinazzi.
Quite a bit here. I got code enforcement on 115 East Arctic Avenue, unsafe structure, notice mailed to owner, borough has cleaned the property and boarded up the building. 110 South Harding Highway property is being cleaned up, dumpster dropped off, property owner requested extension to time to complete the job. 108 Buena Vista Avenue, cleanup is being done, property owner was given an additional 30 days to complete. 106 South Central Avenue, notice was mailed for peeling and chipping paint and remove debris in the yard. We know whose property that is, right? Zoning officer, chickens on residential lot, 103 Marlin Avenue, homeowner attorney filed a use variance for the land use board. Attorney has requested on the September agenda conflict for August meeting. Court was scheduled August 7th. So I guess they're working on trying to get it where they can have chickens there, but they're going to land use board about getting it rezoned.
So she's filing for a variance to the land use board?
Yes. Evidently, that's what it says here, so I'm guessing that's what she wants to come before land use board.
Well, how does that work? I got a question. How does that work? The other one's gotten rid of their chickens. It's not fair, really.
You
That-
have-
They should have had a chance to come.
Yes,
to
and you?
So
That
the,
doesn't mean we're going to grant it.
Yeah,
right,
but-
the zoning and code enforcement have gone out there. After they received the complaints, they gave warnings and then they issued summonses for violating the ordinance about having chickens in an R4 zone. One party abided by
Yeah,
the ordinance and the other party wants to contest it. So initially, they had gone to court and initially they asked the judge for an extension so they could file for a variance with the land use board. That time had gone and went. So we asked for our inspectors to go out again and send them back to court to the same judge to say that they ignored that judge's order. Now it sounds like the judge gave them the opportunity and the extension to file for the second time now, to file for a variance to the land use board to allow chickens in an R4 zone.
Right.
Correct?
Correct, exactly.
okay. So they're set for the land use board.
Now it's
So
going
they
to come to
haven't
land
done
use board.
anything, and they keep appealing and want to go before land use board.
It'll come
If
to
they
an
get-
end soon.
If they get appealed.
They have that right.
Yeah.
Right, it's a process, right, Rick? So
Okay.
you gotta allow it to happen, and then the board will do what it feels it has to do.
Right.
Thank you.
Correct. Okay. Construction, 104 South Franklin, 106 South Franklin, and 114 North Harding Highway, still pending in court. Property owner was scheduled for inspections. Some of the results were passed, some of them failed. So they were supposed to try to get it redone, have the inspectors come re-inspect it. They were supposed to do more work and try to get it passed. It's not passed right now, and it's been going on for a long time. 1305 South Central Avenue. That's the one next to the the school over there.
Very school,
Jim Hoffman spoke with the owner, the following up notice mails, the construction must start within 2 weeks, or the owner must board up or demo. Failure to do so will resort in fines and a court appearance. Evidently, we're tired of just giving him, and he thinks he could come in and get an application and not do anything. It's going on 2 years now that we've been following up on this deal. So evidently, something's gonna have to give on that one way or another, all right? And last but not least, 111 Molini Avenue. Notice the building without, doing work in the building without permits. The property owner came to apply for a shed and garage permits. Zoning officer called and explained to the owner he cannot approve, would need Pineland's approval as well as land use board approval due to the size of the structure and Pineland zone. So that's pending, and this is something that's brand new, so I guess we're working on, and he's got a lot of things to do. He's already started the construction, and we gotta take care of, he's gotta take care of all the permits and everything else to finish the job. That's gonna be it.
Okay, very good. Good report, Councilman. And that office has been very busy the last 5 weeks, and you could hear it live from Councilman Giovinazzi, plus some other areas that they've been digging into that, we could be here all night, but they're doing a good job, and good report. Thank you. Next, we'll go to Finance and Tax Collector Assessor, Chairman Alvarez.
Thank you, Mayor. As of the end of July, we've used about 60% of our 2025 budget. Right now, currently, we're at the 58.3% budget for the year budget line. So we're close. Just under 2%. Last time we were over 2%, so it's getting a little tighter. But I am asking that all department heads are careful with their expenditures. Especially, we want to finish up late in a really good pattern. We don't want to have to go out and have to look for more money right at the end of the year. We just want to try to keep everything close. There's several departments that are doing really good. So you're doing a good job, Mrs. Angelo.
Nice.
Yes.
That's good. Wait
But
till you hear mine.
I
take that.
I have to say, though, again, and Councilman Alvarez, he's on this right now, and again, with expenditures coming up, as you see, we're doing a lot, even in the legal end right now. We're not only keeping our solicitor busy, but we have 2 other special attorneys, and Mr. Malinsky fighting some cases, plus with the foreclosures, Alan has been involved. So what I'm saying, Councilman, is that we really need to be very careful. Again, I agree with you 100% with our spending. I think all departments really have to, tighten up from this point on, because again, we don't want to get left with coming to December and trying to see where we're going to go to try to finish the year out. So I agree 100% what you're saying, and let's all, adhere to the councilman's request that you be prudent and be very conservative from this point on with any approval or requests.
And obviously, our finance committee, we've been
meeting,
and keeping an eye on everything.
So you're right. So let's just try to continue to keep track on that.
In July, for the tax office, we had 200 tax payments for a total of $178,114. There are 19 accounts with a balance of $63,000 from 2024. The office is working, starting the procedure to go after the money, and we feel that we'll have our money. And as far as our office was told by the MUA that they went down on delinquent accounts. Now we're down to 60. So it just, they keep doing a good job bringing everything down. And, you know, those are small numbers, but they add up. But they're doing a good job.
Good. Very good, George. Anything else?
That's it.
All right, thank you. Good job. Next, we'll go to Public Safety and Streetlights. Council President Adams.
Thank you, Mayor. First, we'll go to the Police Department. Thank you to Chief DeCesare. For the month of July, there's 1,004 calls for service to the Police Department in Buena Borough, 396 motor vehicle stops, 243 tickets issued, 24 arrests, 1 DWI arrest, 6 disputes, 8 motor vehicle crashes, 5 well-being checks, 245 business checks, 11 animal complaints, 82 medical assists, 13 domestic calls, 2 missing persons investigations, and 32 burglar fire alarms. And they ran a successful stay sober block the first week of August. I guess that's where that 1 DWI arrest came from. And so thank you to the police department. Their numbers are always there and increasing. And Officer of the Month is Officer Mason Tessier, badge 11115. Tessier is a 2-time recipient of the Officer of the Month award, also receiving the award in August of 24. For the month of July, he conducted 121 motor vehicle stops, issued 73 motor vehicle tickets, and made 12 criminal warrant arrests and completed 9 investigation reports, all by himself.
Wow.
Officer Tessier assigned to the Patrol Division on Squad C, and I'm sure he had help from his fellow officers. They're always there to help. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
EMS, we had 97 calls for service, 76 in Buena Borough, 13 in BVT, 7 in Vineland, and 1 in Gloucester County, providing our assistance to our neighbors. 14 motor vehicle crashes, 19 medical, 3 bleeding, 2 cardiac arrests, 10 cardiacs, and 13 fall victims, 3 medical alarms, 16 psychological calls, 2 overdoses, 5 unconscious persons, 2 assaults, 3 respiratory, 1 seizure, 1 stroke, and 1 airplane crash. That was a small plane that crashed at Cross Keys. Everybody, I guess, saw that on the news. It was a mass casualty call incident that required assistance from multiple outside EMS agencies and fire departments from surrounding areas. Buena EMS provided 1 ambulance to assist with transporting patients to local area hospitals while ensuring our town remained fully covered. So thank you to our EMS for helping us and our neighbors. Animal control for the month of July had 15 calls for service, including dogs, cats, and wildlife. And our secretary is back for the fire department. She is back from medical leave. Mom and baby are doing fine.
Yeah.
And her office hours will be, did I send this to you, Nicole? If not, I'll put it in here. Her office hours will be Mondays, 3 to 8 p.m., and Fridays, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So she'll be there. She'll be helping me get a fire report. So I'm glad she's back, and I'm glad everybody's doing fine. Also remember, if you have any streetlights that are out, let me know, send me a text, or go right on to AtlanticCityElectric.com, click on outages, and you'll see where you can report it yourself. It says report a street light out. We pay for all the street lights, whether they're working or not, and it's about a $6,000 a month bill. So that's a lot of money for street lights, so let's make sure they're all working for our money's worth and for safety.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
We called, and they fixed the one that's behind my house, not the one at the corner. they said that the numbers were switched. So we called, they were supposed to come back next day, they didn't come.
Yeah, it's
And
best to
it's been-
file it
We filed
in
it
writing.
online, we did, so they haven't come back.
They will.
So it's-
They're
Oh,
running,
Yeah,
I'm not making excuses, but I know, I probably report 2 or 3 a month, just when I'm scooting around town. I see the light out and I report it, but they're about 8 weeks behind.
thank you.
Wow.
So some residents have said to me, you know, I'm tired of waiting, and I said, the only thing we can do is wait. There's, right, Patty?
Patty.
Yeah.
I think we could.
Good
Here too.
Patty waited about 10 weeks to get her street light fixed.
Okay, thank you, Doug. Next, we've got a recreation, Councilwoman Barsoya.
Recreation's been really busy. They are in their 3rd week of production of their Buena Broadway Theater Camp. This production is Legally Blonde Junior. They asked for everyone to come out and support all of the local children and staff. All performances are free and will be held on, are you guys ready? Friday, August 29th at 6, Saturday, August 30th at 2 and 6. And these performances will be held at the Jodale Pavilion in the park. They also asked for, if you haven't already, to follow them on Facebook, which is Buena Borough Parks and Recreation. On this website, on this webpage, I should say, they post all the additional details for all their events. They have an upcoming community yard sale to be held here in the park in September. As for special events, our last concert will be held Thursday, August 21st from 7 to 9 p.m. The performance will be Ride the Goat. And Buena Day is scheduled for September 6th with live music, DJ, food trucks, and multiple vendors. We do have a rain date for that of September 13th. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Martha. Next, we've got buildings, grounds, and improvements, Councilwoman Andalora.
All right, I have a few things.
Yep.
The EMS building, the roof was replaced, and then now we're going to be working on the flower beds around the building. We let them go because of all the commotion over there. We had an AC unit repaired here at Borough Hall by a contractor, George. We got 3 quotes, and Pulaski was the lowest one, so we had to get it because it controlled this room.
Feels good tonight.
And it was warm in here for
We're
like
happy.
a week. Okay? I have money though, I check. Okay, we're getting ready naturally for the park for Buena Day, but also the production, and it's going to be held at the Pavilion, Jodale Pavilion. So we want it looking nice. Hopefully we can put flowers back there before all this. And after Buena Day, we hope we'll be working with Recreation for the placement of the engraved brick project. Have you heard anything?
They're
Denise?
ordered. Bricks are ordered.
Yeah, but how long will it take?
I don't know. Christina would know better than
Yeah,
me.
okay, but
Few weeks.
that'll be after Buena Day,
Mm-hmm.
because we have to use the rec department for
Right.
that, right?
Right.
Okay. And the mayor and I met with the Design and Housing Authority. Mayor, you
Yeah, that's right, go ahead.
No, go ahead, you can go. You're good at
Yeah,
that.
we met, there were some concerns regarding some residents from the Housing Authority. What prompted was I received a letter, and again, some people had some concerns about the aesthetics and the upkeep there, and again, that's not really our jurisdiction. We appoint the members, they have a housing authority, but it cleared a lot of issues up. That morning, when I returned from office from the 8 years, things have changed. Carla Giovinazzi serves as the chairperson from the borough, but she even told me she had gotten some things that cleared up that she's been on there for a while, didn't know about or was not clear on. So it was a very productive, good meeting, in that Vineland actually manages basically that authority now from supervising the employees to hiring. It's changed from years ago. Years ago, that basically they held their own, but Vineland, actually the Vineland Housing Authority was brought on a number of years back, and even the last employee, Augusta, that was hired for the maintenance and grounds, they did not replace him, and they utilized their employees from Vineland to do the grounds and all, and I gotta tell you, it's just not the same. I mean, Augusto looked impeccable, how he kept it there, but he just was assigned to Buena, in all fairness. Vineland Housing Authority, we met with Mr. Miller, I guess he's the assistant director, and he was very good, he explained everything to us, but Vineland actually manages not only Buena's, Ocean City, and Cape May, they have 4. So they have a crew on the grounds, they have 2 crews to do all these sites, okay? Plus they have, what was interesting, they do have a community relations person who they have on hand that they told me they were going to send out notices to let the residents know. They have a person to talk to them if there's any complaints, concerns. They can handle that internally. They have a nurse on staff, correct, Pat?
Yes.
Full-time. And they also have a full-time social worker who will go in if the residents request and give them social services. I never knew any of that stuff. I'll be truthful with you. But in all fairness, when it was just the Buena Housing Authority, the advantage of having Vineland coming in, they have more to offer because they have a bigger budget, bigger staff. They could provide the nurse, they could provide the social worker, the community outreach person. So, you know, there's pros and cons to everything, as we all know. But it was, we spent about over an hour with them, and it was a very productive meeting. And moving ahead, the communication factor, even though Atlantic County Outreach, where we're trying to encourage a lot of their residents, you know, for $1 lunch. They run bingo there, they run crafts. So they were mentioning a lot of their people get lonely, they don't have a lot of social life. So we do have stuff right here across the street from them. I mean, they're in walking distance. So Pat and I both said that maybe they could put flyers out to their residents to tell them that, look, we have the services here where you can go. They're open from what, Pat, 9 to 2 every day, the outreach?
No, they're usually out of there by 12:30.
Oh, it's 9 to 12:30 now.
Yeah.
But they do offer a variety of things. So on that, it was a very productive meeting, and they promised they were going to try to get the outside kept a little better, and that they're working with the residents, so.
Yeah, they are. And
Yep.
just one more thing,
Yeah.
we're getting prices on a new hot water heater for the concession stand.
Okay.
The old one had a gas leak, and we actually had to call the gas company, and the fire company came. It was
Okay.
all checked out, but
Good.
it's been over 20 years.
Right.
So we have
It's
to,
due.
yeah, we're getting prices on it, man. That's
Very
it.
good, thank you, Pat. Next, we'll go to roads and recycling, Councilman DeStefano.
Thanks, Mayor. Under road items, potholes were filled, some leaves and grass removed from the bin and taken to the local farmers. Branch collection had been completed. Landfill testing has been done for the quarter. Signs, information, and street name signs have been ordered. They're working on a stormwater management. The full crew will be at the park preparing for Buena Day. And last, new trash dumpster will be priced out for a convenience center. The old one is rusted and it will be paid for by Clean Communities. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Frank, very good. Okay, any unfinished business to come before council? All right, new business, I have a couple items. I just want to remind council that we're going to be having a special meeting of the Land Use Board at 6 p.m. this Thursday, August 14th, to hear Tiffany Cavello and her report on the rehabilitation plan that she's going to present to the board. From there, we will have a special meeting of this council next Monday, August 18th at 6 p.m. to look over the plan and accept the plan for work, town-wide rehabilitation. So please, I know it's an extra meeting, but that one I think we have to have because we are going to add a couple things. Marion, you want to let council know we'll be also working on a couple items, or Rick said it too, for
Would be
the,
the double liquor license transfer, excuse me, for, JTTR
okay,
back to L's and then to the Frosted Mama. So it's actually a double liquor license transfer.
now Rick, you're preparing all those documents?
We'll be doing that, yes, Mayor.
Okay, so the solicitor's working on that, he'll be preparing everything for us for Monday night special council meeting, and then council will act, right, upon your recommendations that night, right? Because you did some, I know you spoke with me, and you spoke to
Yes.
the director about how we want to proceed with this, correct?
Spoke with the chief of
The
police
chief of
as well.
police, yeah, he left, but, yeah, he was consulted to let council know. You know, Rick has been doing his homework with this, along with the director and the chief. So we'll be prepared for next Monday evening
Yes, sir.
with that. It'll be a special meeting of council and mayor at 6 PM on Monday, August 18th, right? 18th.
What's the, did you mention?
The 14th is land use board, but that's just informational purposes, because what happens, Pat, is that'll be the rehabilitation that we voted on tonight for them, to go to them. From there, we'll decide on the land use board after hearing Tiffany's testimony, and then once you got, the land use board adopts that on Thursday, hopefully, that will kick back to the borough council to do a resolution and, you know, look at the findings and vote on that on the 18th. Okay, everybody clear from council? What we gotta do? I don't think there's anything else.
I have one question. Do we have a date, or as a result of Councilman Giovanazzi's report, do we still need a hearing for 2 properties?
Yes, but what we're doing is we're amending the ordinance, it's on this agenda, to include the mayor as the public hearing officer, one of the public hearing officers.
So there'll be 3 people from council?
Yes.
2, right? 2
Well,
from council?
2 from council and the
And me.
mayor.
And the mayor.
Mhm. And then once that's amended, then we'll schedule the actual date.
So even though there was a report on some of those properties tonight, we're still going forward as planned with that hearing?
Well, yes,
Okay,
yes, but first we have to amend the ordinance.
okay.
So that'll be final reading at the next, our next meeting.
And then we'll set a date, confirmation date. It was Councilman Giovanazzi, myself, and the mayor.
Yes.
All right.
That's for 2 problem properties that he reported on tonight that we were being ignored. Now it looks like somebody might be listening, but if they're not, then we're gonna have a hearing to tell them what they have to do, correct?
And I'll be on it, of course, Councilman Giovanazzi will, and the council president. Any other good business? Okay, next meeting of mayor and council will be next Monday, August 18th, special meeting. And then after that, it'll be a workshop at 6 o'clock, and regular meeting on September 8th, 2025. Motion?
Motion.
Adjourn. Barsoya?
Second.
Second, Andaloro. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank everyone. I know it was a long one. Thanks for hanging in.
I clarified the schedule and everything.
This has been a QVC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QVC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QVC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.